Hello, welcome back to Send Him Off, the only podcast in the world where you'll get sponsored mugs with Vimto inside.
I genuinely thought you were going to say the only podcast in the world. Anyway, moving on. I
Oh,
thought that
there's
was where
just
you were
the
going to
only
leave it.
podcast in the world.
I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Anyway, I'm here as well.
he is. He's jumped in
I'm,
early. My
yeah, I
ever-present
have, yeah, sorry.
podcasting partner, Alex. How you doing, boy? You right?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, not too bad. I'm glad you did that as well. It would have been weird not doing your thing. But we're not alone, as usual. We're never alone anymore.
No, we're
Sam,
not.
do
No,
your thing.
we're joined. Well, these boys, or two of them, we're joined by half of the flat chat,
Yeah,
who
50%
are
of the
back.
flat chat.
So you're one away from your Soccer AM hat trick ball.
Yes.
Well, it's the send him off version, which is way better. I gotta say. We haven't had many hat tricks, have we, Al?
No, we haven't. We had, who did we have on 3 times? We
I
had,
think Jordan Webber's been on 3 times.
yeah.
I think Amy Clement's been on 3 times. I'm pretty sure.
We rode a few balls, didn't we? We rode a few balls.
Yeah.
Any
Di Moons has been on.
Oh,
there
yes.
3 times.
Yeah.
And Trev. I think Trevor Bickles. Good old Trev. Anyway, sorry. Aaron and Heggie. How are you doing, boys?
Very good, very good. Very glad to be back.
Yeah,
Nice to
pleasure
have
to
you
be
back.
back.
We really
We're
enjoyed
glad to have you back,
one.
yeah.
We enjoyed the last one. And it's done all right on YouTube by our standards.
Do you know what?
Welcome
Since
back.
you've been on, I have not been able to get away from your faces on TikTok. It's really weird. I've just seen every fight is like football tic-tac-toe, football tic-tac-toe. Every 2 minutes, I'm like,
Your
what?
phone's listening to you, mate. That's
Honestly, flat out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's good to see you boys.
Did you enjoy the Swansea one with
I
it?
did. We
Yeah,
noticed
yeah.
it, didn't we?
We had
did
a look,
say-
yeah.
Yeah, we say when we went out the other day, I was like, Did you see? And he was
Who
like,
was it? It was Swansea and who?
There was
I was trying to-
Napoli in there, wasn't there?
Oh,
Definitely a
you could have
Napoli
had.
one.
I don't know whether you knew about Jonathan de Guzman. You could have had him as well. And I think those two were the only two. Michu. Was it
Yeah.
Michu?
I know, I think
and
they
de
said
Guzman?
De Guzman, and we said
Oh, did you?
we could have had Michu as well.
Oh, right.
Pretty sure-
Oh,
I'm
well,
pretty sure
either way
De
around,
Guzman
then one or the
said-
other.
Because I was more impressed with De Guzman.
Yeah,
to be
I would have
honest.
been. Yeah.
You just
that was
smashed
probably
that
it.
board, boys. Can't let you. So we knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
hey, boys, the send them off, boys. Will get this.
Yeah,
100%.
I was literally sitting there going, yeah. As soon as I see Swans on it, I was like, oh, here we go. No, but we're not here to talk about football tic-tac-toe just yet, because there might
Not
be
just yet.
we
Yeah.
might enlist the boys for to sort of get us into
Hit us
shape.
head to head,
get
yeah.
our TikTok
Yeah.
up and running because ours is dreadful. But we're here to do a little bit of a season review for a season that hasn't finished yet. But
It's as good as.
yeah,
Almost.
it's as good as done. Apart from we don't know who's going down, we don't know who's going up, we don't know who's finishing Champions League, and we don't know who's finishing in any other European places. But
But other than that,
done. Yeah, we're just gonna have a chat. So I think we'll jump in first. I want to go signing of the season. So there's a couple of candidates I've got written down. It's hard to look past the obvious in the form of a big, massive Norwegian, who was
Messiah.
well, who was quite John Carew. I was on about it. What a player, can I say as well? John Carew.
was he Swedish? No,
he was Norwegian, wasn't he? Yeah, I'm
Norwegian,
sure
was
he
he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know why I thought he was Dutch.
Well, there we are.
I was wrong. That's all. Eric
Thanks for
Eric Frank would have done me right over with that one.
He would have. He's nearly on his hat trick as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Oh.
Aaron, give us your sign of the season. Talk us through your thought process.
So basically, you're just sitting there looking. I'm looking at the start of the season. Obviously, the Arsenal guys that they've signed, Jesus and Zinchenko, they've done really well, embedded into that squad really well. You have to look at Newcastle as well. Their signing policy has been really good since the Saudi Arabians took over. But for me, you have to go with the obvious one. It is Erling Haaland, 49 goals, like breaking all sorts of scoring records in his first season in a team that hasn't played with an established striker for a long, long time. It's just insane. It's just incredible. I can't really look past them. Arsenal fans, I'm sorry. Zinchenko and Jesus are really, really good. Mainly for Callum if he's listening on that one. But for me, I can't look past Erling Haaland. I'm sorry. Nearly 50 goals this season. Frightening. Please don't do that to Scotland.
Heggie, no word for Casemiro as well. I've got him written down on my list.
Yeah. I'm going to throw a name out there that might not be in your list. He
Go
goes
on.
underlooked a little bit. I think Palhinha from Fulham deserves a shout.
It's a great shout. It's a really good shout. Yeah.
I think Fulham have had a
very-
really good season this year. I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah,
No.
they flew under the radar. They were prime relegation candidates until,
Yeah.
and then obviously they've come in under Marcus Silva. They've been amazing. So fair play to them.
Yeah. I think Mr. Paul Cooper will be a very happy man, Alex.
Oh yeah.
I can't have name dropping today. I'm like Mal Pope. Was another one.
He is, yeah. He's bad. Don't listen to him, boys. We're not that big, I promise.
No, well,
do you know what? It took me a sec. I thought you were talking about Steve Cooper for some. I was like, what's he got to do with this?
No,
Nothing.
wrong club.
Yeah. Sam, who's your sign of season? Because I think I've got mine.
I completely agree with Aaron. You can't really look past Haaland. I think Casemiro has transformed United. I think Rashford has been superb this season. They needed a spine, and I think that has come in the form of Martinez at the back and Casemiro in front of him. And I think that is where the vast improvement has come. And I do think City will win the treble. I do. But I think the one big threat to that isn't Real Madrid in the Champions League. I think it's United in the FA Cup final, because I think they're really going to be up for it.
They've already beat them this season as well.
Yeah. And I think they're going to want the little, the two. They're going to, who knows? If they equal Liverpool's best ever season last year, right? World beaters, going for the quadruple, and they end up with the same amount of trophies as Man United this season, who, I mean, they've not really set the world alight, really. But yeah, equal Liverpool's best ever season. Quadruple chasing Reds, isn't it?
Liverpool need something to shout about this season. They really do. If they can get we won as many trophies as City's best season championship, they'll be doing not bad.
Yeah, definitely.
For me, if I had to choose, I got a couple of Casemiro was in my mind, Haaland was in my mind, Cody Gakpo, to be honest with you, after the World Cup, he's in with a shout for me. But I don't know whether this is rogue or not, and I know Arsenal have been mentioned here and there, but it's Martin Odegaard.
Was that last season or wasn't he?
Was it last season or this? I feel like it was this summer. This season feels really weird though. I can't tell what's what.
I actually had Odegaard written down. Then I went, no, I'm sure he was there last year.
Was he there last year?
I think he was there on loan last year, wasn't he? And did he sign permanently in the summer? So technically, on a technicality,
I'll claim that on a technicality. I'm gonna have to go on.
Okay, sorry. I know we've mentioned, obviously Rashford being the old football cliche, he's like a new signing. Even if he did sign last year, Odegaard has been like a new signing.
No, 100%. It does. And he's been given the captain's armband as well. And I didn't, because, this kid was in school, with the same age as Martin Odegaard. And we were looking at him, this kid's on 80 grand a week in Real Madrid. And we thought he was just going to sort of fade into obscurity. And he's become Arsenal's captain. And I didn't think he'd be much of a captain. He's led them, almost. I'm looking at the table now. They're 2 points away. City are about to, as we're recording, kick off against West Ham in a bit. So who knows where they'll be sitting later on. But he's led them to the top of the table with, how many games to go? 2, 3, 4? I don't know how many. And for a 23, 24-year-old, that's not too bad.
Not bad.
I don't know whether I could do that. Do you know what I mean?
It's not fair. It's not fair.
Yeah.
He's a handsome boy as well, isn't he? That's annoying.
I know. It's annoying. It's always annoying when they're good looking as well.
Yeah,
come on,
I was going to say, I was just wondering when the Send Them Off Soccer Saturday special was coming, because by the time we've got some live games to come into over here.
Yeah, well, that's a shout, actually. Who's
it from Park? Who's been Chris Kamara?
Yeah.
It's just full of cammies if we weren't there.
Yeah.
It's been a red carpet for who? Alex Tamuta?
No.
I don't know.
Not a clue. Sorry, Heggie, I think you're gonna jump in with something then.
Yeah, I was just going to say Martin Odegaard's finally living up to that potential that we all thought it was going to be at 16 years old.
Yeah.
Do you know, I think probably it came at the wrong time for him, though. If we're looking at Martin, at 16 years old, what are you really expecting of a 16-year-old? He's on 80 grand a week at 16. Can you imagine being on 80 grand a week at 16 years of age?
What I would have done.
I'd be in a hole in the ground by now.
I would have bought many FIFA points. So many FIFA points.
It does go to show, but obviously a lot of people look at these young guys as well, and obviously, like Odegaard, if they've maybe not had the best start to the career, maybe they've not lived up to that expectation. This is just a good example of don't write them off like just yet, because his transformation's been incredible for Arsenal this season.
Happens all the time though with young players, though. Like Ross Barkley,
it does. But I think it's the English players it happens to, without being disrespectful. I think it is because they'll believe the hype. The newspapers will, blow so much smoke up their pipe, and then they'll believe it. They'll be on all their money. They'll do exactly what any 16, 17, 18-year-old would do with all that money. Whereas with Martin Odegaard, I think he went to Sociedad, I want to say. Did he?
Yeah, Sociedad. Yeah.
He went to Sociedad, and he stuck with it, in fairness, because you're playing in La Liga. Cristiano Ronaldo's still at Madrid. They're still winning stuff, and I don't know, if I was there, I'd be thinking, I could have been part of that. It could have been me, but he stuck with it. Went to Arsenal, and now looks like he's killing it. So we'll see.
I just say I love how happy you looked when you got Sociedad right then.
Yeah. I was looking for confirmation otherwise. I was like, Sociedad.
Someone's been watching football tic-tac-toe.
I was guessing we're getting some career paths out here, guys.
Right, so that's signing of the season. Let's go for worst signing. Any names you want to check out, boys?
Oh, worst signing. That's a hard one.
It's tough to call.
I think Chelsea have got a number of.
We're completely forgetting about Chelsea here.
Yeah.
How many do you want?
I don't know where to. Was it Enzo Fernandez? I don't know where to stand with them. I have no idea where I should stand with them, because they signed, what was it, £120 million?
I think he's been far from the worst, though. I
know. He's not been the worst, but I look at the price, and I know it's not his fault, but I'm thinking, but then again, he didn't decide his price, did he? Matteo Mudryk, I still don't know how to say his name.
Mudryk, yeah. He's 100 million. I don't think he's quite lived up to the expectation of the Chelsea.
Yeah.
Top assister, though. Top assister for his club.
Yeah, but how many?
Grand total of 2.
Yeah.
Exactly. How many have they got?
It's been a poor season for Chelsea all round, though. So I don't know whether the signings are going to be a reflection on the signings themselves. I think it's more a reflection of how the team's been, how the managers 3 of
4 if you include Bruno.
Oh, well, there
They're
we are.
turning into Watford before our eyes, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who else? Throw some other names out there, boys, because Chelsea is just all I'm fixated on.
Cucurella.
Yeah.
Aubameyang. 100% Aubameyang is up there for me.
He's got to be in there.
He's done.
Did he sign this season?
Yeah.
Again, that one felt like last season.
It's World Cup. It's World Cup.
It's the World Cup.
Yeah. Richarlison.
Richarlison. Yeah.
He's got his Premier League goal now, though.
Yeah. What can I say?
I laughed. I laughed like a hyena.
Play with the year. I was explaining to the boys before you came on how we both watched it with our good friend Steph, who
and he's a Spurs fan,
and we pointed at him and laughed.
Oh, it was one of those moments where you think, you know what, the world has just set it up perfectly here. I couldn't have been happier to be in that room with him.
Yeah, honestly, that's probably gonna be one of the best Premier League best Barclays moments ever. Just seeing him whip his top off at Anfield. He's so buzzing, and then of course they got the other end, make it 4-3.
It was everything though. Everything, like the 3-0 in 20 minutes again, 2 weeks in a row. And then to get back to 3-3 last minute, former Everton player, first Premier League goal for the club, shirt off, in with the fans. A minute later, a goal. And then Jurgen Klopp pulls his hamstring.
Yeah.
Like, peak. You cannot get better.
For me, it was the fact he ripped his, like, he was celebrating his goal, but he was celebrating what he thought was a draw. Now that, to me, that is embarrassing. That's an ick. If I was his wife, girlfriend, whatever, I would have left him on the spot. I would have come back a minute later, laughed in his face, and then left him again. But for me, no. He deserved it for getting the top off.
The divorce is in the post.
Yeah, that's 100%. Yeah, that's done and dusted.
So I've got Richarlison down. Anthony Gordon.
Oh, he's just a prat, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's favourite club, all then look alike.
Yeah.
What about Calvin Phillips?
Calvin Phillips is a great shout. Again, though, I felt like he'd been a City for about 3 years.
Yeah, I know.
Because of the World Cup. It's been mental.
Hasn't he had like a massive injury though?
He did at the start of the season, didn't he? And I think
he's back now, is he?
And then he was just really unfit, I think.
Yeah.
A bit overweight.
Yeah. Still didn't stop Southgate picking him for the England squad, though.
Yeah.
Don't knock it, right? Calvin Phillips was on my diet plan, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. No. In all seriousness, no. I need to get back in the gym, Alex. I'm just putting it out there on the pod. It's just that I have to.
Stay. Yes, to go now.
To go clip it.
Hold yourself accountable. I like that.
Yeah. I haven't held myself accountable for a long time, Aaron. I won't lie. Cucurella is up there for me, though.
I'm going to go with a lot of the Forest team as well.
Yeah, half of that. And our old boy, Andre Ayew.
Andre Ayew was the one I was thinking
absolutely
of.
Crap.
But, I was looking at him when he was with us. For the life of it, all the seasons just roll into one now. I mean, I don't know if it was 1 year ago, 2 years, who knows. But I was looking at him, I was thinking, your level is about the championship. Like, quality player, silky player. And then I think he went off to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, one or the other. I don't know where he went, but I thought that's about your level. And then when he went back, because obviously he had that thing with Steve Cooper, he went to the Premier League. I thought, no, you're out of your depth, but yeah. And I think he's been sussed out.
Yeah.
Because his brother's killing it over at Crystal Palace. Jordan's killing it. And it's just annoying that he couldn't do it with us as well.
Yeah.
Jordan is an absolute baller. I love Jordan.
He wasn't when he played for us.
In a Swansea shirt. In a Swansea shirt, I was wondering, like, we've got the Ayew brothers. We should have full chem up front, surely. It was hopeless. It was terrible.
Full chem.
He's on that 6 chem.
Honestly,
This happened to us loads, though. Like, Victor Gyökeres is like the best striker in the championship. Yeah. He came to us and he couldn't hit a barn door.
To be fair, I don't think we gave him a chance. But
terrible when he played, though. He was awful, But I am convinced we could have Haaland and he'd score.
Yeah,
nothing.
He'd score more own goals than goals for us.
100%.
But there we are.
Yeah, I mean,
are we going to make a definitive answer on the worst player of the season then? The worst signing of the season?
All of the above, genuinely. I think.
Yeah,
they're all
an
like absolute disgrace.
He was like, I like him.
He's got one fan
as in you like him for the best or for the worst signing, or you generally just like the guy.
No, I like it that he's terrible. I
agree. He has been.
Have you got anything against him? Have you got anything against Cucurella?
He was just so good at Brighton, and he's been an absolute disaster class at Chelsea.
Can we just talk about as well how Brighton have scammed Chelsea twice in the space of one season? First for Cucurella and then for Graham Potter.
Potter, though, I'd like to step in.
Yeah, it's time for us to come here and be Graham Potter's.
As Swansea fans, we saw sort of firsthand how good he is. And I think had you given him time, had Chelsea given him time, like Arsenal gave Arteta time, because it was a pretty similar run they were on to when Arteta was losing to Brentford opening day of the season last year, and they were, bottom half of the table. Give him time, back him.
He would have had them, yeah. And
he would have had them playing.
I mean, to be honest, the bloke was backed. Realistically, the mistake was
he was backed in. He was backed in the market, yeah, but it's different. Yeah. It's two different things.
You need to be backed with your plan.
Yeah,
with your
100%.
Yeah. And, he was backed at Swansea, but it wasn't backed financially. Backed to Chelsea financially, wasn't backed with time. So, yeah, I think we will see him at a big club again. When and where, don't know. I think he's destined for the England job. That's his destiny. I think we said this. I can't remember if it was Steph as well. It was his career path, because we mapped it out for him. It was very good of us. We didn't charge him. It was going to be Swansea, Brighton, Tottenham, because they play similar styles, then England. And I wholeheartedly agreed with that. But that seems to have gone up in smoke for the time being.
I can see him going to a West Ham kind of team now.
I hope he doesn't turn into a David Moyes, though.
I don't think he will. I don't know. I think he went there far too early to Chelsea.
Yeah.
I think he went too early. I think he should have stuck with Brighton and gone in the summer if he was going to go anywhere. Because let's be honest, the Chelsea job probably would... To Chelsea?
No, to Brighton if De Zerbi leaves.
Maybe. I could still see
what sort of reception he'd have, though. I do not know. He'd have, quite a mixed one, to say the very least.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Surprise package of the season, if we're talking Premier League. Any names you boys want to throw out?
My first pick would be Fulham. Again, just look at where they are and that as well. Like riding high, top half of the table when many people had them as relegation candidates. They've bought in really good players like Polinia. They've got Mitrovic firing in the Premier League after being considered just a championship striker. But for me, I think they're my surprise package of the season. I think they've done really, really well, and hopefully they can keep that up under Silva.
Yeah. Heggie?
No, I agree with that.
I'll go for a less positive one. I will go for Leicester.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone thought they'd finish maybe mid-table, top half like they usually do, but they're rooted into 18th as we're recording this. Not looking good. Vardy scored 3 goals this season after his 15 goals last season. Looks like they're losing Maddison as well. Just been a terrible season for them all round.
Don't remind me that there were 2 of them were against Leeds, Heggie. Please don't.
Can I just say, I want to take this opportunity to say how glad I am that Leicester are in the bottom 3. I am so sick of people blowing smoke up their ass after their 2016 win, when, let's be honest, they played well, but everyone else was shit. That's why they won the league. That's why they won the league. Any other season, if they played that well, they would have finished 5th. It's still marvellous, but it happened 7 years ago now. Let it go. And just let it go.
For me, it's like people use it as like an example of, oh, look how competitive the Premier League is. Like the last 7 before, after that, haven't been City, Liverpool, City.
Yeah. That's so true. I don't know. I'm looking at Leicester. I'm thinking, well, I think Leicester might just about scrape out of it, and I think it's going to be at the expense of Everton and Forest. Southampton, it's done and dusted for them.
I can't see Leeds picking up another point.
I don't know. I think they'll find something from somewhere.
Alex, I'll back you for that. Thank you.
There we go.
Sorry, I can't. Who have Leeds got? I did look at the run-in earlier.
Newcastle,
Man City at the weekend.
Yeah, Man City, Newcastle, West Ham, Spurs. I don't see a point there.
I mean, we'll probably get 3 off Spurs somehow.
Watch them beat City. Watch them beat City.
If they beat City, I'm running laps of different.
But the thing is, it would be, like we said, vintage Barclays if they beat City, because not only would the bottom of the table completely change, the whole top of the table would. Can you imagine? Oh, I'd love it.
Carl would love me in the next Flat Chat recording session, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
I think Everton for me are a bit of a surprise package.
Yeah, again, in a bit of a negative way.
In a negative. They were there last year, right? Fair enough, and they just about avoided it. I thought this season they'd go on and not do a Leicester, but I thought they would have surprised everyone, got their act together, looked for a European spot, maybe the European Conference or whatever it's called. But to be honest, I'm not complaining though, because I am very much looking forward to an away day at Goodison Park next season. I am. So I'm looking forward to that. But I don't know. My surprise package is probably Arsenal.
Yeah.
I didn't think they'd take it all the way to more or less the last couple of games.
I thought they finished like 4th or 5th.
I thought that they'd run out of legs after Christmas. That would be it for them. I honestly thought that would be it. But they've taken it almost to the wire, and I'm quite enjoying it. I gotta say,
it's great, isn't it? It's really good. Bournemouth, a little one for me. I think I know they're not mathematically safe, but I think one more win and they might be. So I didn't expect. I thought they'd be rock bottom. Like when I say rock bottom, I mean like beating Derby's record of minimum points.
Yeah.
Like
every single prediction that we saw at the start of the season had Bournemouth 20th.
Yeah.
I think we had a Bournemouth fan on, and I think the optimistic fan. No, I think he was one of the optimistic ones. I think he said about 19th or something.
Yeah, it was,
could have been. Yeah. I don't know. I could be totally wrong, but I don't think we had any higher than 19th.
But the thing is, they nearly bottled promotion last year from the Championship. It was only like on the last couple of games that they beat Forest.
It was Kiefer Moore started it in, didn't he? Yeah.
But they've been. But the thing is, Bournemouth have made me laugh this year because they've either lost 9-0 or something stupid like that, like 7-0, or they've won 4-0. Like there's no in between. They either get hammered, or do the hammering. Like there's no in between with them.
Their goal difference is -28 as it stands.
Most of that is just Liverpool, though, I think.
Yeah.
just Liverpool.
I will say as well, they've recovered so well from losing Scott Parker and everything that happened at the start of the season for them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
Gary
100%.
O'Neill has done a good old job there. To be fair, I didn't think he'd be in for long. I thought he'd be like an interim option, but
Yeah,
I mean,
that was the exact same.
yeah, he's done well. My surprise package, your boys, I gotta say, is Mitoma for Brighton. Who for me is just he's been
Classy player, isn't he?
outstanding. What a
Classy
player!
player.
What a player! And I hope he stays at Brighton. I hope he doesn't go. But the thing is, he's like 26, 27, isn't he? He's a bit older. So
Yeah.
I can hear Chelsea. I can hear Chelsea signing him as we speak. Actually,
They've already
getting the
got the
paper right. Yeah,
400
fax machines
million
warming
pounds.
Honestly, the most heartbreaking thing for me, seeing how good Matoma has been that as well. Earlier on this season, we found out that Celtic were apparently talking to him, and then he went to Brighton. What could have been?
Really? Really? Yeah, because you've got a few Japanese players, haven't you?
Yep, we've got Kyogo, Hatate, Maeda, Ideguchi, who hasn't quite worked out, and yeah, it's been really, really good. But I would have loved if we'd have got Matoma. That would have been amazing. But then maybe we wouldn't have got Jota. So swings and roundabouts.
Yeah. And I gotta say that Jota on the wing song, I can't stop singing it. I actually can't stop singing it.
Yes,
terrible.
Like proper going for it. Right, so there's our surprise package. Or there are our surprise packages. Any matches that have stood out for you this season as a sort of highlight? My favorite match this season, other than the derby, Alex, our derby.
Yeah.
If we're talking Premier League, genuinely Sunday Liverpool Spurs.
That was the one that came to mind. Yeah.
Either that, Al, or we watched the Southampton Arsenal game together a couple of weeks ago, and that was
we were watching that. It was box office, and I've got no idea why, because we were in a pool bar in Swansea. Why it was like, there was like a group of Arsenal fans. Well, they were Arsenal fans, weren't they? Not fans, they were, and they were cheering, and it felt, I don't know, it felt like a bit of an event watching it.
Yeah,
so that was a good. I think you if I was watching the Oaks, probably wouldn't have been as good.
No, it's testament to how good that game was. We paid £12 an hour for pool,
and queues were down, balls were on the table. We were just watching the TV. It was
we
brilliant.
didn't play. What a game. Heggie, Aaron, any ones that stick out?
One for me springs to mind straight away. Liverpool 7, Man United 0.
Yeah.
No,
I didn't look at my phone for a while that day, and I checked the score at half time, and then I came back 45 minutes later, and I genuinely didn't know what had happened. I thought my phone had I was like, that must be wrong. 6 goals.
Are you sure they're not playing Bournemouth?
I know. Yeah. Mental. Yeah, good game, to be fair. Yeah. I think City 4-1 against Arsenal the other day was a pretty good game as well.
Yeah.
Decent quality game.
Just kind of shows you the quality City.
Yeah, when Liverpool played Rangers as well, they were it was 1-1 at half time and they ended up beating us 7-1. So
yeah,
I know firsthand what they're like in the second half.
Yeah. For me, on Liverpool and Bournemouth, it has to be the 9-0. Like, for me, I know obviously at the time Bournemouth were struggling, but Liverpool, they've been struggling all season, and they could suddenly put 9 past Bournemouth, 7 past Man United. Like, they're so off and on. 1 minute they'll be like, it's COVID ball, there's no crowds, and they can go on and have league winning form. The next week they're getting absolutely scalped. Teams like Brighton. It's like they're genuinely, but 9-0 for me, I think. It feels like 9-0 is a Premier League tradition now, but it's usually Southampton.
No, that's true. Yeah, you've got to have 1 9-0 a season.
Yeah.
For when they go down, it'll be a moment of silence for the 9-0s.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you never know. At this rate, Liverpool could beat Man United 9-0 at this point.
That's true. I had a game in mind, and I'm pretty sure it was Man City West Ham was the first game of the season.
And it was 4-0.
Did Haaland got a hat-trick though?
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was West Ham. But I remember watching City playing whoever it was. Haaland, he's banging. I'm convinced it was West Ham, and he banged a hat-trick in. And I can remember thinking, because he did the same thing for Dortmund, like on his debut. And I was watching his debut for City, and I thought, this is going to be a heck of a season now. We're going to be watching some special kid play football. But for me, the absolute game of the season has to be the Swansea Cardiff. the Swansea Cardiff
Oh, what a day.
away. I was there, boys. When I don't know how many times you've watched Celtic Rangers away in whatever team you support or whoever it may be, but watching Swansea beat Cardiff in the last minute, a part of my soul has stayed in that particular area of the ground, and it'll never leave.
Yeah.
So for me, that'll be moment of the year. That'll be moment of my life. I said to everyone there on the bus on the way home, my kids have got to be pretty special to beat that. I don't care how many I have. I don't care what they grow up to be. If they come close to that, then they're going to be all right.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm talking my absolute game of the season, like, it's between two, the 4-0 against Rangers start the season or the one just there. The one just there to completely end Rangers this season, winning nothing. Yeah, that put a smile on my face.
We've not had a game of this. We've not had a game of the season. not a single one.
Oh no. I got 2 left on my list. So before we get a player of the year, we'll do young player of the year, which I think might be the same person this year.
Yeah.
Because
for the sake of variety, though, anybody want to throw any
Haaland
names?
and Saka are quite young.
Yeah.
So
I
Odegaard
would
as well.
Suggest Martinelli, maybe?
Yeah, Martinelli as well. You had a pretty good World Cup as well, I got to say.
I would I like separating these. So we do an end of year awards at the end of every calendar year. The showers, send them off awards. So boys, who knows? You might get involved this year. We might ask you to read out some awards. But we always do young player of the year, and when I'm writing them, like the nominees, I absolutely hate putting players like Haaland and, like in years gone by, Trent, because they're in the list for player of the year. I'm like, obviously they're going to win it. So if we're talking put the superstars to one side and go for genuinely young players who have broken through this year, I can't look any further than Evan Ferguson for Brighton.
Oh, yeah.
Genuinely, what a player this kid looks like.
Is he an Irish international?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought, and I've seen him play a couple of games for Ireland, actually, not so much for Brighton, but for Ireland, and he just looks so composed. He's a centre mid, isn't he?
No, he's striker.
Is he a striker? I don't know why I was thinking of him, but yeah, no, I've seen him, and it is him. But on the ball, he looks older than what he is. And
he's so composed as well.
Yeah, 100%.
He's a special little player, and I think genuinely though, looking at the Irish talent coming through,
I was about to say that
they're going to have a little bit of an exciting run in years to come.
It could be their golden generation is on its way.
I've seen that be said that as well. Mainly, I think on the likes of HITC Sevens, they've said that. Shout out to Alfie. But yeah, I'm completely with you. I really, really like Ferguson as well. I think he's going to be an immense talent for Ireland. If Brighton can hold on to him, because no doubt, likes of Man United and all that will come sniffing around him. I don't doubt that for a second. If Brighton can hold on to him, they're doing really, really well.
Yeah,
we saw how bad it was for them in the final when he was missing. They had to play Welbeck up front. Yeah. He's just nowhere near as good as Ferguson is nowadays. Anyway.
Yeah.
The Welbeck slander, I love it.
I know. I don't mind Danny Welbeck. He scored a couple the other day, didn't he, against Wolves? He was
for me, Danny Welbeck's sort of one of them players you just think, oh, he was there when he was there as well.
Yeah,
do
you
know what I mean?
A little bit like this might be controversial. But a little bit like Jermaine Defoe was, because
he wasn't as good as Jermaine Defoe.
Oh no, Defoe was a better player.
Posh.
He's a better player. Posh. Don't get me wrong, he's a better player. But like, I look at Defoe and I think, what did he really achieve? He didn't win. Nobody didn't win loads, did he?
That's true. But then you could say that about Harry Kane.
Yeah. I will say it about Harry Kane.
Oh, there we are. I'm glad you will, because I didn't want to do it.
Oh, sorry. Audi
He
Cup.
won the Audi Cup. Of course he did. Who could forget?
Blessed
Audi Cup.
Let's not forget the Audi Cup. Do you reckon, just quickly, do you reckon Kane's going to move on in the summer? Or
he should, I think.
He definitely should, but as if Daniel Levy decides to sell him or not. Because he seems like a bit of a rat, doesn't he? And he doesn't want to ship any player.
Yeah. He's a bit of a hoarder, isn't he?
I love how you found the way to shoehorn rat into another podcast. Yeah, like I'm with you. I think he should move, but I don't think he will. I think we were kind of talking about it as well, Heggie. The loyalty now. I feel like he's too loyal to Spurs now. He'll just be like, right, I'll just stay there, break the scoring record, and
I can't see him going anywhere other than United.
Yeah.
I think if that doesn't work out, he'll stay, I think.
If I was Harry Kane, I would have gone a year ago. I would have gone 2 years ago. I would have, before City signed Haaland, it would have been the right move for him. But now City just,
they don't
they'd be stupid to go near him.
Yeah.
Liverpool, if they wanted to change how they were playing, because they play with that unrecognised sort of striker, that false nine kind of. But now they brought in Cody Gakpo again. They don't need him. I struggle to yeah, but you know,
he won't go to Chelsea. He won't go to Chelsea. He'll stay at Spurs before he goes there. And to be honest, I think they're both messes at the minute, those two clubs.
Yeah.
I think it would all depend on who they bring in the summer. If Chelsea bring in Poch, I think that is the wrong appointment.
That is an absolutely dreadful mistake, in my opinion.
I think it's the wrong appointment. I think they should go for somebody like Nagelsmann or Nagelsmann, however you say it, or Luis Enrique. I think Luis Enrique.
Nagelsmann said no, so that's like, so it's either that or Enrique or Poch.
Yeah, I'm not convinced.
I'm thinking about Harry Kane. I'm thinking if that was I don't know about you, boy. If that was my career, right, and I was with one club my whole career, and all I won was an Audi Cup, and I broke the scoring record, for me, I'd look back at my career and say,
I could have done more.
A failure, bit of a failure.
It depends how you look at it, though, because you can have all these individual accolades. You can have all of them, but then if
you're not going to be remembered for that,
but football's about trophies.
Yeah,
it's not about winning the Golden Boots. It's about winning Champions Leagues,
and
Premier Leagues, and it all depends on how you look back at a career. I think
I personally, and I'm a massive, as we know, massive Didier Drogba. I will die for that man, Didier Drogba. I think, and this may be controversial, I think Drogba had a better career than Harry Kane.
Definitely.
Hands down.
Down.
There's going to be people that will argue and contest that.
Nowhere near as good a player, though. I think Kane is a better player.
Kane's more of an all-round player, but you could rely on Drogba to win you the big games.
Yeah.
And he won the big games.
Yeah, Drogba was clutch, and Kane is the least clutch player of all time.
100%.
Yeah,
but that's the thing.
Then, you've seen it in that as well. Champions League final 2012, he won them that game.
Yeah. But you look at Kane and you say, we're saying he hasn't won any trophies, but it's not really for lack of the opportunity. He's been in the Carabao Cup final. I know it's the League Cup, but he's been in the Carabao Cup final.
We won it, baby.
But where's Swansea City, Alex?
Yeah, that's true.
For someone like Spurs, for the top 6 clubs, it doesn't matter that much, does it really? Unless you're going from them all, I think. He's been in a Champions League final. He's been in a Euros final, a World Cup semi-final.
Yep.
Choked in the World Cup.
World Cup final.
No, he hasn't.
England were in the final, weren't they?
No, they're in the Euros.
Oh, that was Euro. Sorry, no.
He choked in the World Cup against France this year. So, it's not for lack of opportunity, really. So you say, he hasn't won anything at Spurs, but he's been in 2 cup finals for Spurs, one with England, and he's done nothing. He's done nothing.
And he's captain them as well.
The Premier League race as well when Leicester won it. It was
100%.
Somehow finished third.
It was a 2-horse race. Yeah, it was a 2-horse race. They came third.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, you look at who he's compared up against in the scoring tally. He's up against Alan Shearer's record. Shearer didn't win a lot with Newcastle. No. Obviously, he did win things with Blackburn as well. Won the Premier League there. I think there'll still be people that will maybe argue that Shearer was the better player because he's actually won the league as opposed to Harry Kane.
Yeah. But Shearer did that. He went home to Newcastle, didn't win anything, and just got his head down and broke the record. Which,
basically.
Kane might do at Spurs. He might just.
I feel like he is the modern day Alan Shearer in that regard, Harry Kane.
Yeah. Similar.
I think that's a very good. Yeah, it's true. Actually, that's a very good way to look at it, though. Actually, he's the modern day Alan Shearer because, like you say, Alan Shearer. I mean, he did win the Premier League with Blackburn. Fair enough, but other than that, he didn't really do too much else.
Does anyone remember? This is really off topic. That it feels like a fever dream when Newcastle were going down in like 2008, and they brought Alan Shearer in for like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
in the season.
I've got vivid memories of Alan Shearer in a suit.
Not
I've never
not
seen the bloke
being
in a
on
suit
Match
in
of
my
the Day
life.
as well.
Yeah,
Like I remember him not being on Match of the Day because he was.
No, but he had the full sort of like jacket and a tie.
I'm sure it was like a cream or like a brown suit as well. Like I'm sure it was, or maybe I'm just imagining that.
If cream is horrific, absolutely horrific.
Fever
choice.
dream. Alan Shearer in charge of Newcastle. Anyway, player of the year. We'll go for player of the year. We'll just finish it off now. Have we decided on Haaland? I mean, it's pretty.
Yeah,
it's pretty hard not to pick
anyone
him,
else for variety's sake.
A rogue shout, maybe Kieran Trippier. I think he's been very good.
Yeah,
That's a brilliant shout. Did Dan Burns sign this season again? Did he sign this season?
I think he was last season, Dan Burns.
There we go.
In January,
what does it matter?
He was one of the originals brought in.
I mean, again, if we're talking that, you have to. I can't really look past. If we're obviously excluding Haaland as the obvious number one candidate, Bukayo Saka as well.
Yeah,
Saka, yeah.
You got to mention. He's had a fantastic year.
I've got Odegaard and Kevin De Bruyne on my list as well.
Yeah, like he's like Salah was a couple of years ago. He just has consistently good seasons, even if obviously it helps that City are top of the league now and that as well. But
I feel like it's gone. Sorry.
No, I go. Sorry, I'm just spitballing here.
I feel like on that point though, where he's just consistent, he's going under the radar because of how good Haaland is.
Yeah.
But De Bruyne had such a good season.
Ivan Toney's had a good season.
He scored 20 goals.
20 goals this.
That wins you the
20
Golden
Premier
Boot.
League. Yeah.
Normally, Harry Kane has got 25 Premier League goals this season, and he's not going to win the Golden Boot.
I was going to say, was he
mental.
motivated though by having himself as a first goal scorer?
yeah. That's so true. That is true.
Would he get 20 next year? I wouldn't bet against you, boys. But no, Kane, 25 goals. It's the most Harry Kane thing ever.
That's so true.
25 Premier League goals.
An unbelievable scoring season and come second.
Yeah.
Every other season, that would be Golden Boot straight up until
he's nailed on.
That's
nailed on.
Player of the year. Probably because it's Harry Kane, BBC Sports Personality of the Year as well.
probably
get Harry Kane.
Probably get a knighthood.
He'd get a knighthood and an MBE in the same day.
Yeah,
flat out.
A statue. He'd replace Nelson at the top of the column.
The whole lot.
Yeah.
But...
Kane's column.
That's in the Times, isn't it? This little intellectual joke for you there, guys. Anyway.
I like that one.
We'll go for Haaland, I think.
Yeah.
And we've God, this is the longest episode we've recorded in a long time.
How long do you mean? An hour?
It is nearly an hour.
Nearly
an hour. Oh.
Everyone stopped listening 20 minutes ago.
we're normally far too lowbrow to do anything other than 30 minutes. We are. But boys, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure again. We've loved having you.
It's good to have you back.
Do you want to tell people where they can find you on socials and whatnot?
At the Flat Chat on YouTube and TikTok, and at the Flat Chat official on Instagram.
Of course, if you have Twitter as well, if you haven't given up because Elon Musk is turning the place into a riot, it's Flat Chat Pod, I believe.
Yes,
the Flat Chat Pod.
Yeah,
and thanks again for having us on.
No worries.
Thanks
Thank you
for
joining
boys.
us.
Really appreciate that.
And if Aaron and Heggie have tempted you in to send him off land, then if you want to...
What a dreadful amusement park that would be.
If you fancy sticking around, we're on Twitter at Send Him Off Pod, Instagram at Send Him Off Podcast, YouTube, Spotify, wherever you're listening now. Give us a like, give us a follow, and we'll be very, very grateful.
And rate us 5 stars because it helps.
Yes,
just do it. It doesn't cost you nothing.
If you're listening, send the link to 2 friends.
Yeah. And you win absolutely nothing, but do it anyway.
And buy a Send Him Off mug.
Yeah.
Sorted. There we are. Sam, we're not recording next week, but we'll be back the following week, I think. I don't know what we've got planned. There probably is nothing planned. But
nothing,
we'll be back.
You may see us on TikTok.
You may.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you soon. And enjoy the Premier League run-in. Ta-ra.
Take care.